All right, let's get started with how our database is structured. We have the clients table, the name, in this case, those are the companies, and associated with each client, we have a specific contact, then showing what type of project they're interested in, the current status of this client, and then who the assigned team manager is. We've got some notes, which I'll dive into more in a bit, associated tasks and meetings, Slack channel ID, and then we'll talk more about these proposals. Next, we've got the tasks. These are tasks assigned to the team member, so assigned to the linked client. Now we've got the employees table, and then we are keeping track of our meetings as well. Finally, keeping a log of the automations. This is optional, but it can be nice to make sure that we're seeing that automations are running correctly. In the Airtable interface, we have an overview, much more accessible to the entire team. First, we have clients and two separate views for those clients. We can click into the clients to see some details. Here's some of that company research. We can change the status. Here we can move folks through the various stages, keep track of the tasks with those task details. This is linked to the client as well as to the team member. Here are those automation logs that I had mentioned. We can see the team members, what clients they're assigned to, and their tasks, and then an overview of our meetings. Here is one that has an associated task. We can then expand that, and if we want to, we can see what the task is. Now, how do we use this in practice in a way that is actually useful? Let's say that the new CEO, Brian Nickel from Starbucks, has found us on our website and he is interested in AI funnel optimization. He is requesting a meeting for February 12th and he wants to meet at 8 a.m. We can now see in our interface that Brian is now a lead. He's also in the lead stage here, but to see some more details, interested in all that stuff that we said. And now we have this research complete. Two types of research were done. One on the company, the same summary that'll be saved in the client card, but we have it attached to the meeting. Now we can, of course, edit it. We can trim it down. This is now research on Brian. The call is scheduled for the 12th. So here is how we made that happen. We have a simple make.com scenario, which starts with a fill out form submission. The first thing that happens is a record is created in our Airtable. Then we have the event added to our calendar. Now we're creating a record for the meetings, tying the meeting to the client. Then comes the research to Perplexity. First is the contact research. Then we have the company research. Next, we take the research on the contact and added it to the pre-call notes. Next, we update our clients and we are updating the company research, this time from the company research module. Now we log it in our automations log. You could certainly add error handling, but for the purposes of this app, we're keeping it very simple. Now we have the event on our calendar for Wednesday, February 12th at 8 a.m. Let's fast forward to February 12th, assuming the meeting took place and it went great. We have some notes here. Brian wants us to send a proposal. So what we're going to do is simply hit proposal. A webhook is triggered in our internal automations. This one is called create proposal. So as you can see, the condition is when status is proposal and the checkbox is unchecked, then we run this script, which goes to a make.com scenario. This scenario catches that webhook, sets a few variables, and then retrieves some record from the clients table, then retrieves information about the meeting, sets some more variables, and then sends a prompt to ChatGPT. We are specifying a JSON output as the response format. We then create the proposal from a template in Google Docs, filling out that parsed JSON response. We are updating the client record with the link to the proposal and the document ID, which we'll need later once we're onboarding our new client. This is the template for the proposal in Google Doc. These are used as placeholders. This is what allows Google Docs to identify it as a template. Back at Airtable, we now have a checkbox that indicates proposal sent. We can update our automation to actually send that proposal, although I would recommend doing a human review. To view the proposal, there is a button up here. This is the completed proposal, all tied to the client record. One more fast forward. Now let's say that the proposal is accepted and they want to move forward. We can move from the proposal stage to the onboarding stage. That triggers 2 additional automations. This is triggered when a record matches certain condition. In this case, the condition is when it's onboarding and file shared is unchecked. Again, run a custom script. You will want to input your webhook here. And then the other automation that is run when the record matches the condition is when the status is onboarding and the Slack channel checkbox is unchecked, runs a separate script. Just a note, this could certainly be done in the same automation. For simplicity's sake, I have decided to separate them out. Once the webhook is received, it retrieves the client record, and then it goes ahead and creates a channel with the client's name. You'll want to do lowercase, then update the record, saving that Slack channel ID and saying that it is created. There is the Slack channel ID. That becomes very handy when wanting to run future automations once they become a client. Finally, we are updating the log. Again, this is the other automation that runs, receives the webhook, retrieves the client record. It then creates a folder with the client's name. We are moving the doc, the proposal ID. This is why we previously saved the proposal doc ID. Once the folder is created in the previous step, we now move the document into that folder, and this is our demo clients folder, the newly created Starbucks folder, inside of which is the Starbucks proposal. And that finishes up our very simple run through of what a custom system in Airtable can look like and what the automations are capable of. Hopefully you get some ideas of your own to expand on this and to do some really cool stuff. I am including detailed instructions in the description to help you get started, but feel free to reach out with any questions. If you'd like to build something that is more sophisticated and highly customized, please just reach out and I would love to see if there's an opportunity to work together.